What is up, guys? Pete back here. Just finished up a grind session, just finished up some trading, just finished up hatching some Alolan eggs, just finished up a whole bunch of other great stuff that is going on in Pokemon Go right now. Just because I think this video is going to make it up first, I am going to just briefly recap what the other video is all about. We got an egg hatch. That is pretty cool. While that's hatching, friendship is now a thing in Pokemon Go. You can become friends with one another. You can trade in Pokemon Go. You can only trade some Pokemon, but trading is out in Pokemon Go. That is a Pidgey, because the Water Festival is over, so there are no more Kyogres. We're going to have a new raid boss, and that is what this video is about. That is what we're going to talk about. But Kyogre's gone. The Water Festival is gone. Hopefully you guys got some shinies. Hopefully you guys got a lot of Stardust and are ready for trading. Hopefully you guys got all the stuff that you needed. But Pidgey is back. No more water spawns. Back to the regular old stuff, which is awesome, because we love Pidgey. On top of that, so we got that new raid boss. That new raid boss is none other than Regice. So guys, the Regis are here in Pokemon Go. Legendary Pokemon Regice is ready for bone-chilling raid battles. So right now, until it looks like June 21st, we're going to have Regice. So, that is pretty awesome. After that, we're expecting Registeel, Regirock to be dropping. Also going to be awesome. And so for this video, we're just going to briefly talk about Regice, and we're going to briefly talk about the best counters for Regice. We did one Regice raid today, which was pretty awesome, and we did managed to get a Regice. It's not the best Regice in the world, but we did get one. So that's what Regice looks like. And guys, Regice has a max CP of 1764. So while you're out there raiding these Regice, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for 1764. And while you're battling them, we're going to go ahead and set up some battle parties. So Regice is going to be a pure ice type Pokemon. It's going to be weak to fire, rock, fighting, and steel moves. Those are going to be the 4 moves that you're going to be looking to use, and depending on what weather you have is going to kind of depend on what the best 6 Pokemon to use are. So, if you're in clear weather, clear or sunny weather, you're going to want to use your fire types, because they're going to get the weather boost, and you are going to want to use Moltres. Moltres is going to be the #1 counter for Regice. So guys, if you have a lot of good Moltres, go ahead and power those bad boys up. Go ahead and use them. Moltres, #1 counter for Regice in sunny weather. Outside of Moltres, you're also going to want to use Entei. Entei is another really good option against Regice when it is clear. It's going to be boosted. And guys, for the movesets, for Moltres, you're going to want Fire Spin and Overheat. For Entei, you're going to want Fire Fang and Overheat. Next up on the list is going to be Charizard. If you happen to have the legacy move Blast Burn from Community Day, a Blast Burn Charizard is going to be next up on that list. And again, you're going to want to have Fire Spin, and Blast Burn is going to be the moveset you're looking for on Charizard. You're also going to want Flareon. Flareon is another really good fire type attacker. And for Flareon, you're going to want to have Fire Spin and Overheat. It's a very good fire type attacker, though. And in the clear weather, you're really only going to want to use the fire types. They're all going to get it done at a much better pace than any of the other Pokemon do. And we should have, there we go, a Blaziken. Blaziken is going to be the 5th best choice for you guys in the clear weather. And you're going to want to make sure the moveset on that Blaziken is going to be the fire moveset, which is going to be, I believe, again, Fire Spin and Overheat. So there's a lot of Fire Spin and Overheats going on in here, but it's a really good moveset, so that's what you want to use. And then the #6 counter is actually going to be Arcanine with Fire Fang and Overheat. So that's going to be the team that you want to use. Those are going to be the best 6 counters. Now, obviously, if you can use just 6 Moltres, or just like a mix of Moltres, Entei, Blast Burn Charizards, and Flareons, that would definitely be better. Those are definitely going to be the best to use. Blaziken and Arcanine do still get the job done. They're just not nearly as good. So if you can use 6 Flareons, go ahead and use 6 Flareons. They're pretty common. you definitely have access to them. Go ahead and use some Flareons when it's clear weather. But those are going to be the top 6 counters for Regice in the clear weather. Moving right along, when we go to cloudy weather. So in cloudy weather, it is kind of interesting. So obviously, you got the Machamps that we've been talking about all year long. The Machamps that we always talk about. The Machamps that are literally like one of the most meta-relevant OP Pokemon that exists in this game. Machamp is definitely going to be the #1 counter in cloudy weather. It's also going to be a very good counter in extreme weather. It's a very, very good counter overall. So definitely look for Machamp. Counter Dynamic Punch is the moveset you're going to want to run with that Machamp. Next up is going to be Hariyama. So Hariyama is going to be a tankier version of Machamp. It's a little less DPS, a little more TDO. It's a really good Pokemon, though, so that's going to be the second best choice, and you're also going to want to be running Counter and Dynamic Punch when it's getting that Fighting Weather boost. Coming in third in the cloudy weather is actually going to be Breloom. So there we go, we got... No, come on. There we go. We got a Breloom, and you're going to want to use Counter and Dynamic Punch on that as well. Breloom is a very good Pokemon. Definitely gets the job done in cloudy weather. After Breloom, we're going to look at Blaziken again, but this time in cloudy weather, you're going to want to roll that Blaziken over to the fighting moveset that it gets, which is going to be Counter and Focus Blast, because that is what gets the job done. Now, after those 4, in cloudy weather, the next best options are actually going to be Moltres and Entei again. But just because I want to add some different Pokemon, so that way you guys can kind of have an idea of what gets it done. Some other Pokemon that do get it done in this weather, if you have a Focus Blast Mewtwo, I know that's kind of not everybody out there, but the EXs are rolling out a lot more frequently now, and most of you guys know where to go for your EXs, so I know a lot of people are getting the EX raids with the new waves that come out. Focus Blast Mewtwo does get the job done in cloudy weather. So that's one to look for. And then that last spot, I'm going to leave that last spot open right now. I actually don't have a Heracross yet. I have to go down to Florida. I have to go get my Heracross. Maybe I'll trade for my Heracross. Trading is out. We'll see. But I don't have a Heracross yet. And Heracross in cloudy weather, Counter Dynamic Punch, that is going to be another very, very good option. So that spot is reserved for Heracross. I'm not going to put a Pokemon in there. That is Heracross's spot. And the final one that we're going to talk about right now is going to be partly cloudy. Partly cloudy, those rock types are going to get a boost. So you're going to want to use the #1 choice is going to be Smackdown Tyranitar. We just had the Larvitar Community Day, and Tyranitar got a new rock fast move called Smackdown. Very, very good move. Very, very OP. And in the partly cloudy weather, it is great for smacking down Regice. So, that is going to be the #1 counter in partly cloudy. Now, after that, again, it's going to be your Moltresses, your Enteis, your Machamps. Those are what you're going to really want to use. But just to show you guys some other stuff that gets it done in the partly cloudy weather, you're going to have a Golem. Golem will definitely get the job done. You're going to want to have Rock Throw, and Stone Edge is going to be the moveset for Golem. That'll get it done. Outside of Golem, if any of you guys were fortunate enough to have a legacy move Amistar, which will have Rock Throw and Rock Slide, if you guys have those are really good options in partly cloudy weather. They 100% get the job done. So, that's a good Pokemon to use. Now, some other Pokemon that are a little bit more interesting. Not many people might think of them as super meta-relevant, but in partly cloudy, Solrock and Lunatone, with the moveset Rock Throw, Rock Slide, they get the job done. In partly cloudy, they get the job done. They can do just fine. They're actually pretty good counters, and this is some other cool stuff that happened recently. With the summer solstice, Solrock and Lunatone actually traded places, and earlier tonight on our grind session, we got a Lunatone. So, the regional swapped. Solrock, it was in the Americas. It is no longer in the Americas. Instead, now Lunatone is in the Americas. And we got a Lunatone. So that's awesome. And Solrock and Lunatone are awesome counters for Regice. I mean, if it's partly cloudy. If it's not partly cloudy, you got a lot of better stuff. But if it's partly cloudy, you could definitely use those guys. And then, with this last spot, there's really not a whole lot outside of that gets the job done. But if I was to put one more Pokemon in there for you guys, I don't even know if I have one that I would put in there, to be totally honest with you guys. You'd really just want to go with your Machamp at that point. Like, even though it's partly cloudy, you would just want to go with your Machamp or your Fire-type Pokemon. That's just the best way to go. So the best 6 now in extreme weather, which means, like, no matter what, it's going to be all Pokemon that are already up there. But first, the best overall Pokemon to fight this guy is Moltres. After Moltres, you are going to be looking at Entei. After Entei, you are going to be looking at a Blast Burn Charizard. That will be the third best counter. Followed up by a Flareon. Then you got Machamp would be next. There's a Machamp. And another option. Now this is going to be a little bit of a weirder option. This isn't the quickest option. This is a little bit of a different option and something that I've been thinking about playing out with. But a Ho-Oh. If you're going to run one Ho-Oh as an anchor, that's not a terrible idea. Give it Steel Wing and Fire Blast as its moveset. It'll have the super effectiveness, and it'll make sure that you guys are surviving out there. So if you guys want to run like 5 Flareons, they're going to be a little bit more glassy. If you run 5 Flareons and then put that Ho-Oh in the back to make sure you're not fainting too much, that's actually a pretty good idea, and I think that when I go for the 4-man, I might actually be putting in a Ho-Oh in certain scenarios, depending on what the moveset of the Regice is. But that's a totally different topic and a totally different thing. But Ho-Oh is a good option, so I'm going to put Ho-Oh in here. Steel Wing and Fire Blast is a moveset to consider if you want to run a Ho-Oh anchor. But alright guys, that's going to be the teams, that's going to be the movesets, that's going to be the weathers that you want to use them. You guys can go ahead and recap a little bit. I'll leave it up there for you guys for a second so you can see what we're going to be running here, in what weather, how that all works out. But that is going to be the best way for you guys to take down those Regice. So go out there, make some teams, power up some Pokemon, and get yourself some good Regice. It's not a terrible Ice-type attacker. It might not be the most meta-relevant, but eventually we probably will be able to put it in gyms, and when that happens, Regice does have the second highest defense stat in all of Pokemon Go right now. So, definitely worth doing some to get a good one. Hope this is going to help some of you guys. Hope you guys are making some good teams, and I wish you guys the best of luck out there with those Regice raids.